Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 413th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. As most of you would know, I usually put a battle on just on a Saturday morning, but as I've got this week off, I thought I would put a midweek bonus battle on. As you can see, this is fought on a custom map, and this map was hosted by Brotherhood member Mars. Okay, it says custom map. Our first teammate is Brotherhood member Bark, who has bought the Macedon faction. I think he's got 13 pikes. I think it's 3 Cretan archers and 3 cavalry, including his general there. Okay, 13 pikes, 3 Cretan archers and 3 cavalry. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Pompey, who has bought the Rome Bruto faction, and Pompey's got 12 infantry, 2 archers and 4 cavalry. Okay, 12 infantry, 2 archers and 4 cavalry. A lot of you know Pompey, Brotherhood veteran. He doesn't play much these days, but it's always nice to see him come on now and again to have a game. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's bought the Rome SPQR faction. And I've got my very old army of 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, so there's our team. But you wait to see the other team. This should be a great battle for you to watch, and I hope you enjoy this bonus battle. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Mars, who has unusually bought the Greek cities faction. I believe Mars has got, I think it's 13 infantry, 5 Cretan archers, and a fast-moving general armoured bodyguard unit there. As I say, it's unusual for Mars to bring Greek cities, so it'll be interesting to see how well he does with them during the course of the battle. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Steve Longshanks, who's bought the Rome Scipio faction. I think he's got 11 infantry. Just like to show you the upgrades of his infantry there. 8 of his infantry are fully upgraded. So that's 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Now we know that urban cohorts are elite infantry in their own right, but you fully upgrade them and that kind of makes them super infantry. So he's got 8 fully upgraded urban cohorts there. So I'll be interested to see how well they do. He's got 6 archers and just 2 cavalry. Okay, so he's got 11 infantry altogether, 6 archers and 2 cavalry, but 8 of his infantry, 8 of his urban cohorts are fully upgraded. So you could be looking at potentially battle-winning troops there with those type of upgrades. Okay, their third teammate is Brotherhood member Mad King, who has bought the Rome Julia faction. Now Mad King has got, I think he's got 10 infantry there. That's all just 10 infantry, not a lot of infantry on a modern day battlefield, and 6 cavalry. Now let's just have a quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry. And he usually brings well upgraded cavalry, and there you go, he's got 8 upgrades. So he's got 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. Okay, so that we know Praetorian cavalry are good with just gold shield, gold attack on, but put 2 stripes on them and that kind of makes them super elite cavalry. And I see he's got 3 archers as well. So there's the enemy team there. Looks pretty good to me. It's got the potential to be a great midweek bonus battle. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I just thought I'd give you a heads up on our plan here. As you can see, Bark's Macedon army there, he's going to take on Mars's Greek city units. Okay, so Macedon's going to take on Greek cities, and our 2 Roman armies are going to take on the 2 enemy Roman armies. Okay, that's the plan at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see if the plan unfolds as we'd like it to. Okay, at this very early stage of the battle here, you can see that Steve's 6 archers are targeting Pompey's infantry. You can see that one unit of Pompey's infantry down from 82 to 70 already, taking casualties from Steve's archers there. Okay, Steve's using fire arrows now. Obviously, as we know, fire arrows lower morale as well as causing casualties there. So that's what Steve's using there. I think also, as you can see here, Mad King's got his Julia archers as well. 4 units of those shooting into Pompey's units as well there. But as you can see, that one unit, another unit of Pompey's there, down to 61 men from 82. And this is just purely archer fire. He hasn't even come into contact or pilot range with the enemy yet. So that's just pure archer fire that Pompey's units have suffered casualties from. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second. Okay, so as you can see over here on our right flank, Mars has split his Greek cities army into 2, looking to take one of his armies around the flank here of Bark's Macedon units. Okay, that's a nice little move there. I think he's going to take them round there as I say, around the flank there, as Bark engages with the other part of the Greek city's army. Okay, so that's what Mars is hoping. He's going to hope that he's going to hold and pin Macedon with his one army while he gets his other army kind of around the flank. Plus Mars will be targeting Macedon with its archers there. We know that Macedon or any of the big pike factions are extremely susceptible to missile damage, so I know the Greek city's archers will be concentrating on them. But actually Bark has bought, as we saw earlier, 3 cavalry units here, so he could well take out the Greek city archers there, because I can see there's no allies over there looking after the Greek city's archers there. So as I say, the Macedon cavalry there will start taking out the enemy archers. Nice move there by Bark, bringing those cavalry. Okay, meanwhile over on our left flank here you can see our Brutioid ally is still getting a lot of casualties from the enemy archer fire, targeting his rear and flank as he moves units. As I say, those you can see the volume of fire arrows that is hitting his units there. See that one unit is down to 47 from 82, and bearing in mind he hasn't even come into pilot range or any hand-to-hand combat with the enemy yet. You can see the casualties that his units have suffered just from archer fire. So as you can see how effective archers can be on the modern day battlefield there at kind of attritional battles here, just wearing the enemy down just solely through archer fire. I say every time Pompey moves that his infantry become more susceptible to archer fire. Remember, just standing facing archers you don't kind of suffer that many casualties, but when you move obviously you do. Okay, so meanwhile over on our right flank here you can see our Macedon ally has now become in a hand-to-hand battle with the enemy there. He's become engaged with the Greek city units, and as I say here, Mars has got the plan of moving those Greek city units around the flank of Bark there and moving in from the flank, as well as holding him at the front. If you notice here, Mars has sent his 1 cavalry unit off to attack Bark's cavalry, archers there, but they all attacked and chased him off there. Okay, I can see in the background there Mars has got his cavalry chasing down and killing the Greek city's archers there. So that would be a big help for him. Remember, Macedon is extremely susceptible to missile damage, as we said earlier, so to kill the Cretan archers there would be a good thing for the Macedon general. Okay, meanwhile back here you can see that the Greek cities are making inroads into our Macedon ally there, and possibly could do with a bit of help. But he's just bringing his cavalry back now, so he might slam some of his cavalry units into the rear of those engaged Greek city units, which should help him a lot. But as I say here, the Greek cities do seem to be making inroads into the Macedonians there. Meanwhile over here on our left flank and centre here you can see I'm moving my SPQR units towards Steve's army. Remember, Steve's got 8 fully upgraded urban cohorts there. And as I say, you can see a lot of Pompey's units here have lost several men due to the archer fire that's been raining down on them for quite a long time. Steve and the Mad King were targeting the flank and rear of Pompey's units as they were being moved. So Pompey has lost a lot of men through just sheer archer fire. Meanwhile over on our right flank here you can see the Greek cities moving in gradually on our Macedon ally. Now what I was thinking was here, if I brought my cavalry over to this flank, let's just pause again for a second, as you can see here, if I brought my cavalry over to this flank, then maybe I could get in behind the Greek cities, charge into the rear of those engaged Spartans, take out as many as I could, help my Macedon ally, and then my Macedon ally would then be able to take his pikes over to us to help us. So that's what I'm thinking as a teamwork move there, is taking my cavalry over there to help my Macedonian ally. Bearing in mind that Steve's only got 2 cavalry, so he's not going to do a lot, I don't think, against my infantry with 2 cavalry while I'm away helping my Macedonian ally. And my Brutioid ally's got 4 cavalry units there. Okay, I think the Julii army opposite him has got 6 cavalry units against his 4, but I'm sure he'll be able to hold there. Let's see how he's charging around. Bang! As those cavalry charge into those Julii infantry, routing 2 of them. But can you see that the Julii general has sent 3 of his cavalry in out of his 6 here to counter-attack Pompey's cavalry there. And bang, as they smash into the flank of Pompey's cavalry, but his infantry blunted that attack, and you can see some more of the other 3 of those Julii cavalry charging in as well, and bang, as they smash in there as well. Plus you've got those Julii archers shooting in on Pompey's infantry as well. So Pompey is having a sustained Julii attack on his army at the moment, but he's counter-attacking with his own cavalry there. See those Brutii cavalry going in and bang as they smash into those Julii troops there. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second here. So as you can see, our Brutii ally Pompey there is having a really close fight there with the enemy Julii troops. Notice Steve has moved his archers around here to target the flank of my SBQR infantry, plus he's moved his 2 cavalry units around there as well. But meanwhile over here on our right flank, now remember what I was thinking here, try and take out those Greek city units as fast as I can, so that I can then take my cavalry back over to the other flank, and also our Macedonian ally can take some of his pikes over there as well. Okay, but you can see the Greek city general who I'm going for there has just routed. Okay, let's pause the game for a second. Now I was going to carry on to charge into the rear of those engaged Greek city units, but can you see my ally's got his pikes down? If I'd have pressed on to charge into the flank of that engaged Greek city unit, I would have gone into my own allies' pikes, and remember, friendly pikes kill friendly cavalry. So I'm going to stop my charge now. I'm not going to go into the flank of those Greek city units because I'll get caught up on my own allies' pikes. But the Greek city's general has routed now, so it's a good sign over on our right flank. If you notice here, see, I'm pulling my cavalry back. I'm not pressing on into the flank of those Greek city units. As I said, I don't want to get hooked up on my allies' pikes there. But now you can see I'm charging back in, and bang, and I charge into the rear of those engaged Greek city units there. Hammer and anvil attack. If you notice that Barak is charging his men forward with their pikes up, so he doesn't hurt my my cavalry. So he's just gone to sword service. He's charged straight into those Greek city units. So it's a nice hammer and anvil attack. My cavalry being the hammer, and the Macedonians being the anvil there. So as I say, that was my plan there, take out the Greek cities as soon as possible so we could get over to help our allies. Right, as you can see here, Pompey, our Brutii ally, is in a really tough battle here with the enemy Julii troops there. Now remember, those Julii cavalry had 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So Mad King's going to be using them really well, pulling them back, lock and loading, and then charging them back in. But well done to Pompey for neutralising those cavalry attacks with his own cavalry and his infantry there as well. But if you notice here, can you see there's not a lot of Brutii infantry left on this flank, and bearing in mind they're being shot by archers all the time as well. He's got his general there with 24 men in testudo, if you notice, which is a good move. And you can see here he's engaging those other Julii troops over that part of the battlefield. My SPQR units are engaging Steve's Scipio units there. Remember, those 8 units are fully upgraded. But meanwhile, over on our right flank here, the same my plan was here. It was hopefully to take out the Greek cities as soon as I could, and allowing my Macedon ally and myself to be able to get over to help the rest, my Pompey ally over there, my Brutii ally. Right, you can see I'm charging back in now. Bang! Straight into the rear of those Greek city units. Okay, can you see my Macedon ally saw me coming in, put his pikes up. Nice teamwork move. He knows that friendly pikes kill friendly cavalry, so he put his pikes up. His men have just got swords now, look. They're just fighting with their swords there against the enemy. So that was a nice teamwork move there by Barak. As I say, between us now we've taken out most of the Greek city units, and we can now get over to the other flank to help our Brutii ally. Okay, so that was the plan. If we can both get over there now, we can, as I say, help our Brutii ally, who is under a sustained attack by the enemy Julii cavalry and infantry there.
The enemy general flees. Press forward so the Spartan's army is broken too.
Right, you can see that enemy Julii cavalry. As I say, remember that Julii cavalry, 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Really trying to take the battle to our Brutii ally there. Plus, all the time, Steve's 6 well upgraded archers there, shooting arrows, fire arrows onto our Brutii teammate as well. See our Brutii cavalry charging up, bang, into Steve's 2 Scipii cavalry units there. You see that Julii cavalry charging in, and bang, bang! Probably looking to go for either the Brutii cavalry or trying to take out the Brutii general there. But I think Pompey's held really well here against sustained attack from that Julii army, plus all the time having arrows, fire arrows raining in on him as well. If you notice here, can you see I'm moving my SBQR infantry over to support Pompey here? As I can see, he's got a lot of battle depleted units. You can see I'm charging my cavalry in from the other flank now, trying to take out some of those Julii units that have just routed. Okay, so I've got my 6 cavalry units over here now to be able to help. But if you notice here, can you see the fire arrows coming in from Steve's 6 archers, all targeting my cavalry there? So that would have caused a lot of casualties there. I want to try and pull my cavalry out of archer range now. You can see Julii cavalry there locked and loaded, ready to charge in. Okay, so you can see that Pompey, you can see the casualties that Pompey suffered from that sustained attack that he's been repulsing all the way through the battle there. But you can see his units are extremely battle damaged there. Right, can you see I'm going to charge my cavalry in? I'm looking just to do a direct hit on one of those Scipio units. Here it comes. Here those cavalry coming in now. Bang! As I smash into that Scipio unit that I'm aiming for there. Knowing how well upgraded those units are, bearing in mind they're fully upgraded, I know I'm not going to rank that unit, but what I want to do was try and severely cause a lot of casualties to that unit there, which is what I've done. Let's just pause the game for a second. Okay, so you can see my SBQR units engaged with the enemy Scipio units. You can see Pompey's very battle damaged units coming in, but also our Macedonian ally now is bringing what's left of his pikes over as well here. Okay, so things looking pretty good for our team at this stage. Let's say, don't forget that Bark had those cavalry now, and that he's now charging into the enemy archers. So that's pretty good there. I'm glad he's doing that. He should. He's taken out a lot of enemy archers with his cavalry there. So I think that he's going to have a lot of kills by the end of this battle. Now you can see the enemy Julii cavalry getting in behind us there. As I said, you can see that I'm now engaged with the enemy Scipio. Okay, our Brutii allies generals just been routed. Okay, our Brutii generals allies just been routed, so that's going to take away a lot of the morale from his troops. I see this Julii cavalry coming in here and bang into the rear of my units there. But if you notice, I'm chasing that Julii cavalry in with my own SBQR cavalry here, looking to rout that Julii cavalry. Remember Steve's units that he's got left now, those Scipio units he's got left, I think would be the fully upgraded ones. Okay, so we're going to have our work cut out for us trying to take out those units. But if I'm looking at the numbers here, you can see I've got a lot of my SBQR troops left, and we've got our Macedonian ally over there as well. And don't forget, you can see Pompey's green Brutii troops, he's still got some of them left, he's thrown into the fray as well. You see the enemy Julii troops still doing quite well there. I think he's got 4 units. See that one unit of mine is just routed down to 1 man before he routed. So that'd be one of my units with a stripe on. But you can see there's still enemy Julii infantry as well as the enemy Scipio infantry left here as well at this time. Notice here I'm charging my cavalry into that Scipio unit at the back there that was attacking our allies' archers there. If you notice, a Macedon cavalry unit charged in there as well. So don't forget, the enemy are the green and the blue at this stage. I think all the Greek cities have been taken out, so the enemy are the green and the blue here. Sorry, the red and the blue here. But Pompey now, I think, has got 2 or 3 units left, which is good. But I'm concentrating. I remember in this battle, I was really concentrating on that enemy general. I'm really pressing in, trying to kill that enemy general. Can you see my cavalry coming in? I'm going for that enemy general with my cavalry. And here comes those battle damaged cavalry. I'm bang as they smash in there, straight heading for that Scipio general there, trying to take that Scipio general out. That's what I want to do. If we can take him out, that could make a big difference here. And there we go, we've managed to rout that Scipio general. And so I'm thinking now that with the general morale bonus gone now, their team will I think will gradually fold here now, I think. As I say, remember we're green, purple and Macedon. Okay, so we're the green, purple and Macedon. As I say, I think Pompey's got 3 units left. So he's done well actually to still have those units left, bearing in mind the sustained attack that he was putting up with in the early part of the battle there. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second. So as you can see here, I think all the enemy units have now been routed that we were fighting, but there's still some Greek city units, Greek city Cretan archers there still shooting into us. And you can see as we look around the battlefield here, a lot of the units have routed. You can see how intense the fighting was at this particular part of the battlefield here. But as I say, we will be getting shot at by those enemy Cretan archers. Now if we look here, you can see how all the enemy units have been routed there, going in all different directions across the battlefield. So I think we managed to do quite well there, and I'd just like to give a shout out to Pompey there for holding as well as he did. As I can see, I think I can see 1, maybe 2 Brutii units left there, so really well done to Pompey there. So at this time then, it's just the enemy Cretan archers that are shooting arrows into us now. As you can see there, still firing there, Mars still using them. Now I'm going to send my battle damaged cavalry over, but my cavalry is so battle damaged that it wouldn't surprise me if the archers were alt attacked, if they actually rout my cavalry there. You can see my cavalry charging there, and bang, as they charge into the Cretan archers. But can you see now that Mars is alt attacked, and you can see his Cretan archers are charging in with their swords. They vastly outnumber my battle damaged cavalry. As you can see, I think gradually all my cavalry has now been routed by those archers. That was a nice alt attack move there by Mars. But if you notice now, we will be moving the bulk of our infantry over now towards the archers, so it wouldn't surprise me if Mars decided to admit defeat at this stage. As you can see, our infantry running across there. So as I say, I would expect Mars to admit defeat at any time now. He's still shooting arrows at already routed units there. Yeah, there you go. He saw the infantry coming towards him then and decided to admit defeat. So our team has managed to go on to win there. Alright, I'd just like to say, as you can see, it was a close victory there. I'd just like to say, really well played to everybody in the game there. I think there was 2 Macedon units left and 2 Brutii units left. At the end of that battle, just to show how intense the fighting was. Just like to draw your attention to Bark, got the highest kills in the game, 1,806, so really well done to Bark. But if you notice that Mars and Steve Longshanks got the 2nd and 3rd highest kills in the game, so very well done to them as well. And if you notice the difference between Mad King got more kills than Pompey, so actually they've done extremely well there for the losing team. So you know, this you can see by the kills here how close the actual fighting, how close the battle was there really. So I just like to say, really well played to Mars, Steve Longshanks, Mad King, Bark and Pompey. I hope you enjoyed this midweek bonus battle. Spartan Commander saying bye for now.